I wanted to make this video because no one has any idea the psychology and how crazy mind controlling of what they do to me, to put me anywhere. And this is why, of all the stress, the chaos, would lead to a massive stroke or brain hemorrhage one day to my life. Why I'm not as fit and healthy. But I bought these bag of chips, and I bought these same bag of chips a couple of days ago, or like about a week ago. And when I opened it, it completely burst on the top. Okay? And this is what they do. This is a psychology technique. This is very dark, dementing. And I'm going to show you how this black motherfucker that's sitting in this corner is participating in this ceremony. And it's very detailed. And it's very dark. Like, it's literally dragging my dead sister around. It's a worthless bitch that she is. We're gonna make it for the niggas. We're gonna make it for Barack Obama. This is a psychology. And then throw that piece of garbage at me when it's time to bury her. And that fucking piece of shit is long gone. Long gone. You gotta think of murder-suicide. I'm going to sacrifice myself, and I'll give it cost to do what I'm gonna do to you, because it's gonna be me forced to go on stage and be a DJ again because of this nigga right here. Even though I don't like racism, but we're all a little bit racist. It's very detailed, and this is why it terrifies me about what they did to my mother and what they did to my immediate family. They know they got the chicken in the hen. They know my mother's a fucking nothing more than a stupid bitch for them to control. There is no punishment. I get so irritated when I see people look at my mother like she's a stupid bitch. But I can't do anything because all I'm thinking is Barack Obama. I'm thinking Barack Obama is letting that fucking black bitch give my mother those nasty fucking looks and treating her like she's some stupid idiot. And my mom, there she is, just being made into a clown in front of me, and I can't say a fucking word. And I can't do anything. And my mother at times doesn't even understand. They're treating you like, and I can't do anything because of Barack Obama and the niggas. And if it's not that, then it's the white supremacist for Kenneth Cooper at the radio station, because he did it for the black niggas. But they'll do this mind crazy shit, okay? And some of it doesn't even make sense. So what they do is they seal this at the very, very top. If you notice how the bottom is sealed? Well, they do this intentionally so that when you put something up to your chest and you open it and it bursts, right? What's the psychology? What's the poisoning technique that they do this? It doesn't open correctly. Remember how Patricia chips and shits? How her pussy it doesn't open correctly. But you need to feel your heart for Patricia Gardina, because you're going to be DJing, and that's how your heart works. But it's real mind controlling. Because they watch my behavior. They know when I put the headphones on. They know my routine when I eat food, what I eat, how I lay down, everything that goes on. So once he does this, right, I notice that, and I know this is a psychological technique, they do this, and it's fucked up, but I bought these bag of chips again to show you. This is what they're doing, okay? So watch what happens when I open it. Look, do you see how it doesn't open? Do you see how it's all ripped open? Remember how Patricia Gardina's worthless dead body and pussy hole is now this nigga's trophy? It's exactly what's going on, right? Look. Now they're making me pass gas right now to discipline me. It's so mind controlling, it's hard to describe the horrors of what they do to me in every fucking minute video of what they're doing. But I'm going down the street. I go to the grocery store after opening this bag of chips a few days ago, right? After it's all fucked up, just like Patricia's pussy, right? But this is what they do. It's to dement the situation to their profitable gain. The individual you're targeting will be put in their place for a profitable gain, just as worthless as that corpse of my sister is for Presley. The class that I'm in, she's been mutilating the whole scenario and doing a ceremony dance of my dead dad, the dead little girl, making mockery cries about the little girl, and then they're off, and off they go. But what I'm trying to tell you is, I'm going to go into that story in a minute. After I back open the chips, I go like a couple days later, I finish my chips, and I go to the grocery store, come back. When I'm coming back and I open the door, this black nigga over here that's Snoop Dogg's relative or whatever, gets a little bag of chips, and he does this, and he just opens it. And he makes sure that I see him, and he gives like a fucking murder look, like, you want to fight? And so he then portrays himself like Kenneth, because he's trying to cover up for Kenneth, remember? They don't give a goddamn fuck about the worthless little girl. This is just about the money. Money isn't about money when it doesn't matter anymore. It's about real money, okay? And you all know what that means. But it's to open it a little bit. So since Kenneth is a transgender female to male, it simulates into the brain of your target, of your enemy, that you're doing without them noticing what you're doing. And it correlates, and it slowly refines into the brain and consciousness, slowly, without you actually realizing what they're doing to you. But the intention is dynamic. The intention is evil, very dark, but that's not what they say. Okay? But I wanted to let y'all know about what they're doing. And there's the intense psychology. Like, can you continue this conversation? I was in the middle of my class, and I didn't want to participate in a fucking birthday party that these fucking pieces of shit wanted to fucking do. This goddamn worthless teacher and this fucking piece of shit student to have a fucking party at a fucking CNA. This is a fucking class. This is a school. What the fuck is this? So they're doing this ceremony dance. This individual, crazy fucking, this probably, I wouldn't doubt, has killed patients at a fucking nursing home, or would, is behaving themselves like Ken Cooper. They're cleaning up, mentally cleaning up. Talking about my mother, talking about Marco's going to beat my ass or going to swing at me. That's her kids, that she can control them to come and attack me. There's all sorts of threats telling my mother that all she's doing is shitting out babies because she's stupid. And so I'm having to tolerate this in this class, and I have not said anything. It's very ongoing. This person is so mentally warped that this is one of the most dangerous parasitical minds, that why people want to get a gun and kill another person, because this is how this person should never be in this goddamn fucking class of medical field. It's so disgusting, along with this piece of shit in the other class, in this class. But Presley, this transgender, looks like Kenneth Cooper, black hair, white skin, green eyes, and very ugly. It looks like a witch, almost like the facial structure looks like a fucking witch, and seems to know academically a lot of shit. Now, this person has only been targeting me repeatedly to engage in every circumstance to get my attention and whatnot. Well, while I'm not wanting to participate and I continue trying to practice the bed making and whatnot, she makes a mockery of my dead sister. He goes, yeah, you can take a box of pizza if you want, and I get pissed off because I know it's referencing my dead sister while I'm leaning on this bed. Remember, it's dark psychology. If you can apply the worthless dead body little girl Miranda to your victim and you walk off, you'll say it's about something else. What you're doing is you're just throwing poison. And I get pissed off and I said, no, you could take the box with you. And she knew what I meant. You could take that worthless corpse with you when you want to, okay? And it's in the middle of class. And they all knew what I was talking about. You know, and the people that are controlling everything know how to shut that worthless piece of shit's mouth when you want to. Just like they beat the fuck out of me. And they're allowing it to happen. And I still just say, and that's all I say. And they knew what I meant. And still, I build up enough Jesus in me to say, I wish you well on your journey, okay? And the day's over. But this is some of the behavior that, for those that don't know what's going on in this class, have any idea that this terrorizing thing, like it's a balance of life and death of what they're doing because of the circumstances. It's so cynically dark. They know my mother. You're making me pass gas again. They know that my mother does not. I'm telling you that when I'm talking to my mother, she may look very healthy and fit, but there is, it's not just like an old lady. It's trauma. It's fucking trauma. As I'm looking at my mother, all I'm thinking is, these goddamn worthless pieces of shit. I know they got you like the worthless, stupid bitch like they see you as, and not as the person that you really were throughout the life that I knew. And it makes me just, like it makes me feel I'm gonna have a stroke because it's always Barack Obama for the nigga. Oh, for Kenneth Cooper, for the recovery of Kenneth Cooper and Madison. Oh, just for Sarah Cooper again. And there's nothing that I can do. All I can do is like, Jesus, it's like watching my mother deteriorate, and then she, like in her own instincts, she'll start mauling me to then get rid of my life because she's just trying to survive. Remember, stupidest just doesn't have an education. Remember how your black nigga talked to her over at the Canes, huh? And it makes me angry because it's not polite. It's not, and they look at my mother like, look, stupid bitch, yeah, you're one of us. You're the gay community. We're gonna go all gays, all of us against your son. Don't worry, we're gonna give him. And so when my mother, I step near the trash can, and my mother turns around and gives me a cup, and I can tell that my mother's wanting to love, right? But it's not my mother's, my mother's twin. It's pretty close to characters, right? They're identical twins. Care for this kid that, would have looked like me anyway, and I have to step away because they're in control of my mother, and I can't, because the whole thing, I'm just thinking the president, Barack Obama for the niggas, Barack Obama, I'm saying Barack Obama for the niggas, Michael Jackson, Barack Obama, nigga for Michelle Obama for the niggas. That's really just all that's kind of going on because it's just race. It's just about, just for keynote, we're going to make it through. And even when there's a hostile environment and you leave, there's 15 more at a different restaurant that are going to do the same thing. And then there's another 25 that are going to do at the next restaurant. And then there's another 10 of them on the fucking damn bus that are going to do the same thing again. And if you try to defend yourself, another 30 of them are going to be on the goddamn bus again. And it's a fucking fuel of fucking war. And you can't ever diffuse it. You can't. Because this is about Michael Jackson, and for the movement, we got for the faggots and the gays and transgenders. And it's to put that brain and that innocent woman against me at all costs. And I have to say things that I naturally probably wouldn't have. I would be probably more articulate in my words, but there's so much hesitation. And I know my mother has no clue about what's going on, and they just have her as a chicken. And let me tell you something. I went over to my dad's old nursing home. There was a nurse that gave me a tour. You know what she told me when I left? She opened the door, and I said, "Well, I got to take a test in a couple of weeks. So I hope I pass." She opens the door. Okay, I hope you pass. Like, I hope you die, motherfucker. Like that. And she says, "Don't worry about it. We have." She says, "We have 5 CNAs and two nurses on staff." 2 nurses. My mom's triplets, so her sisters are nurses. What is 5 nurses, CNAs? Julian's faggot twin, Marco, gay, Marco's twin is gay, and Frankie. 5 CNAs. Do you see how the faggots work? And it's very animated. It's very, the words and the techniques that they're using. It's fucking war. And I don't even know this lady. I don't even know this lady. No matter how nice I am, no matter how polite I am, it does not matter. It does not matter what I say. That person I already know is full-blown war against me. I can't escape the situation. I leave, I don't say anything disrespectful, I say thank you, have a good day. But I know that's what they mean, and I can't do anything about it. I'm sitting there eating at the restaurant, right, with my mother at Cane's, right? And I don't get anything to eat. My stomach was kind of bothering me a little bit. I just wanted to sit down and get something to drink, have a nice, let my mother eat comfortably, watch how the things that I just learned in class, it could maybe something I didn't see with my mother that can help benefit her health and gonna help be a much more kinder, balanced mother to son family relationship, okay, a healthy one, instead of like, hey mom, I'm having these people throw your worthless dead body sister around. My mom's 68 years old. I don't want to be talking about that because this is about Keynote. He's going to die soon. This is about Sarah Cooper. This is about the Cooper family who got popular. Like, my mom is already, like, they know they have my mother's brain under control. Like, if you look at my mother's head and brain, my mother, they say, I don't know what the circumstances, but obviously all human brains shrink. But my mom's brain looks very tiny. Like, there's probably been a lot of trauma that's happened to my mother's life. And I know by looking at the eyes of my mother, she seems very alert, but the fight for life, but you mentally do not understand. They're pig infesting you. And I get mad, but I can't do anything because it's like, oh, Barack Obama, spit at my mother. Barack Obama for the, Michael Jackson for the niggas. Oh, you want another one for the gays? Yeah, for the gays again, you know what I'm saying? And I can't say anything. I have to keep my mouth shut. Okay, and I have to tell my mother. I said, "Don't worry. Look, any money you have is for them. Okay, because the more you think that, because I've had too many people, so they already got their DJ career set up for me. This black nigga in the corner is already doing it. There's a number of things that go on that people don't even recognize, and I don't like to be a part of it, but I think it's important to talk about. It's hard to watch my mother. I know it's a natural part of life, but what they did to her, because they know they just have to get her pregnant, get the twins to take care of. My mother and her twins, they have no understanding of the magnitude mentally and academically what's happening. They cannot. It's just about survival and killing your own child to your mental standards. And if your mental standards is grabbing food out of a trash can and then cleaning it off and then giving it to your kid, because that's a standard my mother absolutely just adores because her heart is so big, they will use psychology to apply that to then apply it to me. Because this is about Barack Obama and, the President of the United States with his bullshit. And it bothers me because, life is short. And there's nothing that's been healthy about the circumstances. Like, she does not mentally can get a grip about knowing that I met Michael Jackson, what this has done to your family, how awful these rapes were associated with this, what has happened to your relationship with Raymond, what happened to me, what has happened through the entire roller coaster of situations. They're 10 times smarter, and they will and take everything from you. You do not understand. Just the same way that you threw that worthless corpse into that house and it went into a casket, it's as worthless as it is being exercised right back at me by you, by these other people, and they know you're not smart enough to understand because there's no one in defense. It makes me angry, and I don't like it. I don't, but there's nothing that I can do. It's very suicidal. Like, if you want to go toward your target and you know that you're willing to go to prison and jail for it, you can go after your target and get into their head. And once you get into manifest it, you can set up the chess pieces the way you want, and off you go. But when that person's on stage and it's about for, Keynote 97 on the beat for this nigga that just buried Miranda's worthless dead body is going to be for the niggas. It doesn't matter. Because the beauty of this soul is now in the hands of this fucking parasitical motherfucker and anyone else that wants to take a roller coaster just like Presley did in class. I should not have to say that in the middle of class. Take that box of pizza and take it with you, you fucking piece of shit. And they knew I was talking about my sister. And this person is just enjoying themselves. It's just psychology. And I'm in a fucking CNA class. Now I'm going to go to a CNA class where there's fucking long-term care, where there's people that are sick. They're going to use that dead body, that sacrifice, because this little girl did not get a proper burial. This little girl had no proper care, picture, or burial. It was just thrown in the fucking casket in the floor and shipped off. That was it. It was as my mom was not, it was to put her head down. She was not allowed to talk. She would not talk to the girl. She was being bullied and punked out daily by the fucking neighbor. I would watch this shit happen daily, all the fucking time. My mother would come home from work on an 8 or 9 hour shift, building fucking tools, hand tools with her hands, beat the fuck up. Oh, but you know, this is Keynote 97 on the beat for what it is, you know what I'm saying? 50 Cent and Snoop Dogg niggas are gonna come through with Dr. Dre. My mom is being ass fucked when she goes over there to teach her a good fucking lesson. Who's the boss? And then you're not even being able to give your daughter a shower to make sure that you actually gave birth to her. But you're gonna get a nigga story right over there. And it's psychology. So every time, regardless if it's ignored, it takes an imprint of a very dark spirituality of what they're doing. It's very dark. Remember, this is a Mexican girl. A Mexican girl that has my hair color, my eye color, my skin color, and is my actual biological sister. And she didn't get any kind of love. She was nothing more than a fucking coaster for other people. That's what she fucking was. And it's very sad. It's a very haunting story. It's a very haunting to watch a little girl walking a princess outfit in front of your house, throwing up and shitting, wearing a princess crown. It's like a haunting story. That's fucking bad luck. That's some pretty bad shit. But there's nothing that can be done. But it's a roller coaster for this parasite and Presley. You know, everyone else has seemed to keep somewhat of a balance. This person should never be in the medical field. I mean, this person, both of them. And, you know, you're going to go into a place and you have such an attitude like that. It's just not like a dark attitude. It's just like fucking dude, damn, did you, whatever fucking drugs somebody gave you as a kid must have fucked you up to try to turn you into a girl, and it didn't. I don't know what the fuck's going on with you. But I don't say anything. But if you go into like that into a fucking CNA, and this is not like a one day thing, every day, this person could probably start killing people. Like, make it look like you figure out a way to fucking kill somebody in a fucking hospital bed and get rid of their fucking life. You know, this person is, this teacher is 100% would kill people if it gets the chance and dismiss their life with that intention of dark and negative. Like, I'm going to dismiss this because I hope it dies and kills this patient. I don't want them to be here anymore. I don't like them. And it's very dangerous. But once again, I have to only focus on myself, do the best I can, because the psychologists and the laser beams are controlling everything. But as far as it goes with my mother, it's very, very hard. It's hard. It's emotional, you know, like, because I know that she doesn't understand. You know, for someone that suffers so much, you know, I can look at the way that my mother eats food, and when she's eating food, it's much of it, it's like gargling just to survive, like it's very much not really sitting down and flavoring your food. It's like survival way of eating food. And all I can say, Barack Obama, remember you nigga right out there at the front desk? But if I open my mouth, but what they do to me is that they decay my physical body, because then I won't be able to beat ass on people. You know, everybody knows an extremely ripped and built person walks into a place, you get nervous because you know that can be used as a weapon. They snap and flip, they'll fuck you up. As hard as you think it is, you get in a guillotine, you get dropped hit with a hard ass punch. When they're not looking, man, you're gone. because there's so much force behind that body and punch. And so people recognize that. So that's why they decay me, so then this one doesn't have any protection. Just like you were raping my brother Frankie and it didn't have any protection, and you went after the mother. And it's very hard. It's very hard. So I hope to God somebody can watch these videos and observe my mother. I did tell my mother, I said, look, make sure you have your affairs in order, because there's too many people threatening me about your money and your house and all this stuff. Whatever you're involved in, they don't care. Your brain is their control, and the president is going to do it. He'll kill me for it, and he's doing it right now. He's not going to stop. So it's safe to say that, you're the boss. You say, I'm just over here. I'm here to help. And that's it. They're in control. President Barack Obama, Michael Jackson, and the niggas, and the supremacists for the faggots and trans are in control of everything you have and do and say. There's nothing and no police that I can go to, and it's the best way I can know that at least you can be some kind of safe. But it's hard to look at my mother and knowing that that's how she's sort of living her life, and it bothers me. It bothers me. It's not like, much of the food, like, I bet you could tell by people when they look at my mother eat food, like she's gargling it, like it's survival. It's not, it didn't seem to be flavored. It didn't seem, it's not no way to eat. And I used to actually see my mother do that many years ago, where instead of bringing the soup, she would bring the soup down to her face like she was, it's sort of animalistic, not like a human being, like a mother. And so Barack Obama wants this to happen because he's doing it for the niggas. He's doing it for an excuse later, and then excuse and fancy words later, and the people tootle off. Because death is very real, but I'll kill your mother and just say, for my niggas, But he's not going to say that. They just do with action. And believe me, I don't like it, but it has to be that way when it comes to race. So much of it has to be with race, and that the prejudice situation is. So it has to be because of what's happening, about what's going on, and what's already happened. I can't even walk into a class, and I should be able to go to class. I should be able to go to class, and I just took a test earlier, and I scored an A on there. I got 92 out of 100. I missed 4 questions out of 50. And I should be able to go to class comfortably, try to learn whatever negotiations is going to happen. I don't want to hear about it. Like, I'm just trying to focus on this. I got an education that is years ahead of me, and it's going to take a very long time. Very long time. And I'm barely 2 weeks, and this person is not telling me, dragging my dead sister in a fucking box in front of me by telling me she's a box of pizza, because, Michael ate a lot of pizza, the Murphy family ate a lot of pizza. Take this shit with you on her birthday. And this one is like fucking threatening the shit out of me. Like, if this person was saying some really fucking dark shit, like how my mother was just shitting out kids and just stupid. I mean, this person is intelligent enough to understand how dark, dynamic that mental exercise is. Very, very dark. It's extremely calculated and very incited in thoughts of very dark, dementing to just stupid that of mental control and poisoning. Any parasitical way this person gets the chance is going at me, and I just ignore it. It's so vengeful. The psychologist and whoever is allowing this to happen, there's nowhere for me to run, nowhere for me to do things, nothing. But anyway, I thought I'd make a video on this, so for those that don't know have this dark psychology they're doing. I mean, look, I talked about this before. Look, that's not an accident. Because remember how Kenneth's going to then show up one day and it hurts his heart just a little bit, and he fixes it because he's transgender, and he takes, it's just Patricia Gardina, and then you see DJ again. And so much of it is, it's a mental training that I should not be in a conversation about this at all. I should not have to make daily conversations about this at all, but I have to. And instead I'm wasting my fucking time and everything that's going on, making a video about what they're doing to me.